Bubbly Bears, February is known as Black History Month. So this month, we're going to be talking about great things that African American brown people did to make our world a better place. This is an alphabet book that I'm going to share with you. I may not do all the letters, but we're going to go through and look at some of these names, okay? It says A is for Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin. And if you don't know these people, ask your parents and see if they do. B for Ruby Bridges. That's Ruby Bridges right there. C for Bessie Coleman. Bessie Coleman. D for Charles Drew. There's Charles Drew for the letter D. E, we have Ella Fitzgerald. Ella Fitzgerald. F is for Fannie Lou Hamer. Fannie Lou Hamer. G is for Granville Woods. There you see that. Then let's go to I. I is for Ice Cream Flavors by Augustus Jackson. Ice cream. You'll probably remember that. We're going to talk about him. J is for Lonnie Johnson. Lonnie Johnson. L for Louis Armstrong. We have M for Mae Jemison. N, Nelson Mandela. I'm pretty sure you might have heard of him right here. O is for Barack Obama. Then we have P for Miss Rosa Parks. Let's skip a couple of more. We're going to T for Tuskegee Airmen. The letter U for the Underground Railroad. W for Wilma Rudolph. Wilma Rudolph. And let's go finish with the letter Z. Z is for Zora Neale Hurston. So boys and girls, we're going to talk about some of these people, but I want you to look at all those people. They're all brown. They all have made accomplishments in the world. Some of them are not living anymore. For the majority of the ones I shared with you, they are no longer with us, but they left their legacy behind that we can learn something from them. All right. Remember I read the story, What If There Were No Black People? I read that story and posted it up for you. We're going to be working on a book this week called Inventions by Black Americans. It says Garrett Morgan invented the traffic light. Sarah Boone invented the ironing board. So you can see the traffic light right there. You can see the ironing board. You're going to color those two pictures, and you're going to put the traffic light above Garrett Morgan's head and the ironing board above Sarah Boone's head. Let's go to the next page. We'll do one or two things a day, boys and girls. It says T.J. Smith invented the lawn sprinkler. Thank you, Mr. Smith. And there you see the lawn sprinkler. Then there's a sentence. I used Mr. Smith's lawn sprinkler when. Tell me when you or somebody in your family used the lawn sprinkler. The next page. Alexander Miles invented the elevator. Thank you, Mr. Miles. And you can see the elevator is right there. You're going to color and cut that out, and there's a little slit there for you to slide up and down for the elevator. It says, I used Mr. Miles' elevator when. When do you get on an elevator? Talk about it with your family. Write it right there. John Stannard invented the refrigerator. Thank you, Mr. Stannard. And look at all those things. All of these things don't belong in the refrigerator. We have cheese, apple, turtle, milk, and carrot. You're going to color those two pictures that belong in the refrigerator and glue them there and tell us how you used the refrigerator. And the last page says, Mr. Ray invented the dustpan. Thank you, Mr. Ray. You're going to connect those dots from 1 to 10 and create the part of the dustpan. You're going to cut that out and put the broom right with the dustpan. It says, I used Mr. Ray's dustpan when, and tell me when you use the dustpan. Now, my book is pretty much finished. Look at my book here. And everybody's faces will be brown. No peach people when we're talking about African American Black history. Okay? There's my traffic light. There's my ironing board. My sprinkler would go right there. Okay? It says I use Mr. Smith's lawn when the grass is dry. You have to water the grass. There's my elevator. Look at that. It will slide up and down, boys and girls. There's the elevator. Things that belong in a refrigerator. There you see. And then there's my dustpan with the broom. So each day we'll take 2 at a time and we'll talk about these. When you finish, you'll have a book that you can read and go back to and learn about those people who have made great accomplishments and helped our world become a better place for Black history. Okay, now let's move on. You're going to also work on a gentleman named Lewis Latimer. Lewis Latimer, there he is right there. Lewis Latimer, okay? When you color Lewis Latimer, make sure his whole face is brown. Men don't have on lipstick. This is not his skin. That's his shirt with a necktie, okay? Lewis Latimer, let me tell you a little bit about Lewis Latimer. It says, Lewis Latimer was a pioneer in the development of the electric light bulb. He was the only Black member of a group of scientists who worked on the light bulb, the filament inside the light bulb. That's how we get light. We can credit that to Lewis Latimer. Lewis Latimer and the light bulb. So when I ask you what Lewis Latimer did, I want you to tell me that he put the filament in the light bulb, okay? You will have a light bulb. You will only get one. It will look like this. I want you to tell me one way you can keep your light shining in the world. You're going to write how you can do that on the light bulb. Again, we have Lewis Latimer. Let me show you what it looks like when you color Lewis Latimer with quality. There's Lewis Latimer. Everybody see that? Nice picture of Lewis Latimer. Brown man who invented the filament inside the light bulb. Okay? All right. Now, let's go back. And we saw Lonnie Johnson a few minutes ago. What is this right here? Do you know what that is right there? I bet you some of you have played with that. Who can tell me? Let me give you just a second to look at that. What do you think that is? What is that? And there's Mr. Lonnie Johnson right there. There he is. Mr. Lonnie Johnson did a great thing, especially for children. That is the what? He invented the super soaker. How many of you have a super soaker at home? Put water in it, you spray, and you get wet. So Lonnie Johnson invented the super soaker. You're going to color the super soaker, and you're going to trace those words, super soaker. Just one statement about Lonnie Johnson, because that's what he did, and that's what Mr. Lonnie Johnson looked like. So boys and girls, we're going to continue to talk about Black history. There will be other people that we're going to talk about and meet throughout the next weeks. This whole month is filled with Black history. So let's keep learning.